From the vast plains of Eastern Europe emerges an ancient saga, an epic forged in the melting pot of peoples and cultures. Here, where rivers meander toward endless horizons, the history of Russia begins. A tale of origins and transformations. It is the dawn of a civilization that will forge the destiny of a continent. All began with the arrival of the first Eastern Slavs, a key ethnic group in the region's history. From them emerged the Russians, Ukrainians, and Belarusians, sister peoples united by an ancestral heritage. In these lands, the Eastern Slavs cultivated a culture deeply rooted in agriculture. Their communities prospered, and with them sprang a flourishing trade connecting their villages. Their origins lie in the middle of the Dnieper region and the foothills of the Carpathians, from where their influence would spread. Their advance was unstoppable, following the course of the great rivers of the north, east, and northeast. These waterways not only facilitated their expansion, but also became vital trade routes. Their geography gave them an unparalleled strategic advantage, a gift of fate. They controlled the routes linking Scandinavia and the Baltic with the distant Black Sea, a bridge between worlds. In the crossroads between the 5th and 6th centuries, the city of Kiev was founded, which would rise as an impregnable fortress. Its strategic position on the Dnieper made it a nerve center, a light in the darkness. But the fate of this land was about to change forever. Around the year 859, a fearsome force of bold warriors and intrepid sailors appeared in these lands and founded the important city of Novgorod, making the local tribes they were subduing pay tribute. They were none other than the Varangians, mostly Swedish Vikings who expanded eastward. They were also known as the Rus, the men who row. In Old Norse, they were warriors and traders of formidable reputation. They subdued the Slavic tribes, and their presence would forever change the history of this land. The Varangians' military superiority was undeniable, but their true advantage lay in their naval mastery. Their light, narrow vessels allowed them to navigate rivers and lakes with astonishing ease. Thus, they connected the Baltic Sea with the Black Sea, creating a vast trade and plundering network. The Nestor Chronicle, a pillar of Slavic historiography, tells of how in 862, the Varangians were expelled from Slavic lands following a rebellion by local tribes. This was followed by a climate of anarchy and power struggles among the many tribes inhabiting the region. It is said that several Varangian princes were invited to rule over them all. The Varangians were not mere raiders. They possessed a sophisticated hierarchical structure based on the druzhina, armed retinue, system that allowed them to exercise efficient territorial control. Their power was based on strong leaders capable of imposing order through a status hierarchy that transcended traditional tribal divisions. In response to this invitation, 3 Varangian brothers arrived: Rurik, Cineas, and Truvor. After the death of his brothers, Rurik became the sole ruler of the region until his death in 879, when power passed to his relative Oleg the Prophet, thus establishing the Rurikovich dynasty that would reign for more than 750 years. Oleg extended Novgorod's control southward, conquering the Dnieper Valley in 882 from the Varangians, who had betrayed Rurik. His next step was bold and decisive. He moved the capital to strategic Kiev. This city, already an important center, would become the heart of his empire. The unification, represented by Novgorod in the north, and Kiev as its epicenter, gave rise to Kievan Rus around 880, Thus was born one of the most influential political entities in medieval Europe. Kiev, with its privileged position, became a vital center for trade and expeditions. Its location was crucial, as it served as a border with the Khazars to the east and the powerful Byzantine Empire to the south. This proximity would forge complex and decisive relationships for the future of Rus. The cultural fusion between Varangians and Slavs was a gradual but profound process. Over time, the Varangians became Slavicized, adopting the local language and customs. They married Slavic women, becoming fully integrated into the society they had conquered. This fusion gave rise to a unique identity, a synthesis of two worlds. Relations with Byzantium were constant, marked by diplomacy and conflict. In 944, Igor of Kiev, son of Rurik, attempted a raid against the impregnable Constantinople. Although the campaign failed to achieve its military objectives, it led to a highly important commercial treaty. This agreement opened the door to Byzantine trade and influence, laying the foundation for future exchanges. The influence of the Byzantine Empire was crucial, a beacon of civilization that illuminated the lands of Kievan Rus. Its legacy would be decisive in the Christianization of this nascent state. Thus began the profound fusion between Slavic and Byzantine cultures, an encounter that would redefine its identity. Byzantium, at its height, was the most refined and powerful civilization in Europe, a colossus of antiquity. Constantinople, its capital, dazzled with its magnificent palaces and monumental churches. It was a center of art, knowledge, and faith, a magnet for the world. The first attempts at Christianization date back to 867, under Patriarch Photius. However, they had no lasting consequences. The Rus people of the 9th century remained rooted in paganism, worshiping gods such as Perun and Svarog, the supreme god of thunder and the creator and celestial fire, respectively. Their ancestral rites dominated daily life. The final Christianization took place under the leadership of Vladimir the Great, a transformative figure. His baptism in Chersonese in the late 980s marked a turning point. Upon his return to Kiev, Vladimir baptized his family and people, initiating a mass conversion. The process was undertaken with determination in 988. The choice of the Orthodox faith was not accidental. Aside from commercial and personal interests, Vladimir's ambassadors were impressed by the majesty of the great Orthodox Cathedral of St. Sophia in Constantinople. The beauty and splendor of the Byzantine liturgy convinced them of the superiority of this faith. The mass baptism in the Dnieper River that same year was a monumental event, an act of collective faith. Pagan statues were destroyed, and the people were urged to be baptized, thus sealing their new identity. This choice was determined by strategic considerations, beyond mere religious conviction. The adoption of Orthodox Christianity consolidated relations with the powerful Eastern Roman Empire. This diplomatic and cultural bond was further strengthened by Vladimir's marriage. He married Anna Porphyrogenides, sister of the Byzantine emperor, a dynastic bond of utmost importance. Vladimir's legacy was vast and lasting, laying the foundations of Christian Rus. During his reign, the first stone church, the famous Church of the Tithes, was built. The heyday of Kievan Rus came with Yaroslav the Wise, who ruled from 1019 to 1054. During his reign, Kievan Rus reached its maximum territorial extent, stretching from the Baltic to the Black Sea. Its influence extended from the Vistula to Taman on the Kerch Strait, a vast and powerful empire. Yaroslav I not only expanded the borders but also laid the legal foundations of society. He published the first written legal code, the Rus's Justice, or Ruskaya Pravda. This fundamental document regulated social and economic life, consolidating the rule of law. Thus was born East Slavic civilization, the fruit of an extraordinary fusion of peoples and cultures. Kievan Rus emerged as a great European power, shaping the destiny of this vast region and of world history. Its legacy underpins the identity of entire nations, which play a crucial role in today's world. The descendants of the Eastern Slavs, the Varangians, and Byzantine Christianization forged a unique identity. This cultural amalgamation laid the foundations for the future Russian civilization, a melting pot of traditions. But the path of Kievan Rus would not be without challenges. Despite its splendor, Kievan Rus would eventually disintegrate into rival principalities. Political fragmentation would weaken its unity, opening the door to new threats. The arrival of the Mongols would mark the end of an era, plunging the region into centuries of domination. However, the spirit of Kievan Rus would endure, latent in its people and its traditions. From its ashes, the Principality of Moscow would rise again to dominate the former cultural space. This new center of power would give rise to the future Russian Empire, an unstoppable force in history. This series, about the history of Russia, is a testament to resilience, to a people's ability to reinvent themselves. It's a story that continues to be written, an echo of ancient times that resonates in the present.